See, that was bad. See, my voice falls within the frequency. I'd have to put an effect on my voice to get my voice over that frequency. See, can't really hear me unless I change the tenor of my voice, and then I would have to have like a cloud lifter. I keep talking about that. Here I am. Here we are, face to face. Just a couple of silver spoons, man, with two of a kind. I don't know the rest of the words, but that's all I know. I am not a silver spoon. I think you could tell by looking at me. I guess, I don't know how this is going to go. I think maybe in the essence of like the whole world, big picture, this is satire, I guess. But who knows, man? If you guys like my ideas, how else is it going to become the reality unless somebody nominates me and puts me up into that category where people are listening? It's like, you know what? This is the agenda we want. So here we are, state of will. What does it mean? I got my goofy graphic. Where's that? It's the goofy graphic. Come on, man. Give me my channel. Okay. So the thumbnail, I'm hoping, is draws the eye a little bit, and the state of will, and that's my little state house right there. I got some other state houses. I was doing some mid-journey work, making some Capitol buildings. That was supposed to be the Oregon State Capitol, but it totally missed the mark. I guess the old building had a dome, and maybe it's making like a rendering like of an older version, and they changed the dome at some point. They took that down, and it's just this. Yeah, either way, yeah, Oregon said, you know what, we're not going to pay for that shit. You don't need to maintain no dome. Anyway, yeah, that was supposed to be the Oregon State House right there, the Oregon Capitol, but it came out all like, I don't know. I did say neon colors. I think they got a couple of the buildings that are to the side, maybe. But then they're like a little bit bigger, like more like a DC ambience, but not quite. Not quite. But that's what I got. So that's my state of the will photo there. See if anybody chimes in. I told somebody to show up. We're going to talk about SchoolVenture. And I guess, if I want to tag people in this, that's really what I'm hoping, is that somebody would show up and tag people for me. See, that's how it should work with social media sharing, As soon as you start tagging people and then other people see it, it might show up in other people's suggestions, as they click on it, and they'll see what they have to say. But yeah, SchoolVenture. Let's see here. Let's bring the page back up. So yeah, this is just a silly little page that I made on Facebook. And it was just a tiny idea I had about, the idea that you could take all of public education. You could take all of public education and turn it into a video game. See, SchoolVenture is a Scholastic Entertainment Experience. This is a fully immersive virtual world where students of all ages earn real school credit by playing through the content. If Amazon offered this as a service, would you pay $20 a month for it? What if all colleges and universities were just an expansion pack away? And I actually looked up the U.S. federal education budget, and it is a whopping $538 billion. Okay? $538 billion. And I'm sitting here talking about this turning school into a video game concept where you would basically turn public education to a functional virtual world, like MMO type video game where kids log in and play through a mission style content to get through their education. You see what I'm saying? And you form it that way, and then the kids could just do that on their own spare time. And yeah, and I want to tell you what, you'd get way better results from these kids. They would get hooked on school real quick. You would have 12-year-olds that have already been through high school and college, because they just sat down and played the game. If you made it an engaging, mission-based experience the way these other MMO games come across, kids would get hooked on education. They wouldn't stop. And here's the fun part. I think you could completely eliminate the $538 billion expense when you actually get this done and you make it functional to where everybody could participate. You know what I mean? You would have the school, like the public school style of SchoolVenture, be like this secure, like this lockbox of regulation that the kids and all these people deal with. But then you would also have SchoolVenture as its own standalone game program that adults and anybody else could participate in, and you could pay a monthly fee to go back to school and see how you do. Redo your school. Real school credit. You see what I'm saying? Real school credit. So if anybody could go back and redo their high school and go get real school credit, by going through the same exact process that you have for the kids, that you would just Billy Madison for $20 a month. And guess what? I bet we would completely eliminate that $538 billion if you go global with it. If you go global. I think going global, you would actually eliminate the $538 billion, and it would start bringing in money. So instead of spending money on our U.S. education system, we could be using it as a profit driver, without having to even charge the kids anything at all anymore. It's still free public education, okay? It's just that once you're a certain age, 21, let's say you put it at 21 years old, and you want 21 and older, I guess you have to go access the game version, and you still get real school credit. Do you hear me? Real school credit. And I think if you designed a system like that, implement it, you make me president. Make me president. And I will go into the Department of Education. I will have a Manhattan-style project. We put 1 million people onto this project until it's done, and we get this up and running. And we start this game going now. We start this going by the time 2026. So you're talking about what? 3 years? We got 3 years from now. You got to put me in the Oval Office for 2025, though. I tell you right now, by the start of the school year of 2026, which would give you like 18 months or so, I bet I can Manhattan Project this shit and get it running. And your kids don't have to worry about going to... You know what I mean? You got a whole new conundrum on your hands, parents. I'm sorry. But at the same time, we're reducing the federal budget when it comes to education. You know what I mean? And I guess that you can get the conservatives on board of that, right? Don't you think? We're talking about trying to reduce... Come on. We're talking about trying to reduce this number and actually create have money being put back in so we can reduce the expense. And we can move those expenses, or maybe just kind of eliminate it, maybe. Yeah. So there's that. SchoolVenture. See, I came up with this idea, and I've been talking about it for a while. And I made the page. Look how far I went. Look how far I took it. You know what I mean? I thought of the idea. I wrote this text out here, and I put it up here, and it's been up here for a few years. And I got 611 likes along the way. But there's not a lot of information here either, and I didn't pay a dime. I haven't paid Facebook a dime to promote it. Nothing like that. My idea was that the more people like this thing and the more people talk about it, the more likely it would become a reality. But I guess, I got to start, splatter monkey with this thing and just start throwing it at people. Come on, think about it.